Jalen has always been the type of person who looks for a reason to celebrate, and this moment was no different. What started out as a simple conversation about moving and career changes quickly turned into talk about food, parties, and good times. For Jalen, it wasn't only about saying goodbye or marking a transition, but about enjoying the moment and turning every change into a chance for celebration. He admitted openly that he had been planning a going-away party, but then he realized he could easily turn that same plan into a celebration party instead. To him, the label didn't matter. What mattered was being able to gather friends, have food, and keep the energy positive. He laughed as he explained that even if someone canceled the move, even if the circumstances shifted, he wasn't going to turn down free food, free drinks, and a good time. That was Jalen's way of handling things. Why waste an opportunity to celebrate life? He made it clear that whether it was a farewell or a congratulations, he was going to enjoy it just the same. The focus, in his eyes, wasn't on what people were leaving behind, but on what they were stepping into next. The conversation became even more interesting when Jalen explained the difference between the jobs that had been offered to him. Originally, there had been a move to Colorado on the table. That opportunity sounded exciting at first, but when he compared it to the new job he had accepted, the celebration felt different. He said that the money involved with the new job was more than enough reason to celebrate in a big way. He pointed out that the job in Colorado offered him a certain amount, but this new one had doubled that figure, which was life-changing for him. He smiled as he recalled how he even gave a counter-offer to Colorado, pushing them to come up a bit more, but in the end, the decision was easy when he saw the difference in pay. Jalen's way of looking at it was clear. For him, the celebration wasn't about moving to a new city or leaving people behind, it was about valuing himself, his career, and the future that came with the new opportunity. That is why he kept joking about the invoice for the party. To him, if he was going to celebrate, someone needed to cover the costs, and he half-jokingly suggested that his mother should be the one paying. After all, moms are always there, and if she was going to show up at the party, then why not let her cover some of the costs? He teased that if she took on that role, things at the party would definitely end up being free. The laughter and lighthearted back and forth showed just how much Jalen enjoys these moments. He wasn't just focused on the seriousness of work decisions, the heavy weight of moving, or the stress that usually comes with such life changes. Instead, he shifted the energy toward joy, toward laughter, and toward togetherness. His approach was not only refreshing but also showed why people around him find his company so enjoyable. The talk about food was another part that highlighted Jalen's personality. He made it clear that food always ends up being part of the celebration, no matter the occasion. To him, a party isn't complete without good food, and it always seems to be the final piece of the puzzle. No matter what people were gathering for, it always came back to food, laughter, and fun. That's how Jalen defined celebration, not through fancy decorations or strict plans, but through simple pleasures that bring people together. What stood out most in this conversation was Jalen's mindset. Many people would have been stressed about the move, nervous about the changes, or caught up in the seriousness of the job offers. But Jalen flipped the script. He decided to take control of the situation in his own way. Instead of being overwhelmed, he used humor, joy, and celebration to keep things light. That doesn't mean he wasn't serious about the opportunities in front of him. It simply means he chose to highlight the positive side of it all. That he reminded everyone that change doesn't always have to be heavy. Yes, moving to a new city is a big deal. Yes, choosing between job offers can be stressful. But if you allow yourself to see the good in it, there's always something worth celebrating. And Jalen, in this moment, became the perfect example of that. He joked about the party as if it was something mandatory, something that had to happen no matter what. He didn't want excuses, he didn't want to overthink it. He simply wanted a reason to bring people together and enjoy themselves. His statement that he could have a party regardless summed it all up. For him, life was about finding reasons to celebrate instead of waiting for the perfect moment. The mention of money and counter offers also gave a glimpse into how Jalen thinks. While he had fun with the jokes, he also showed that he knows his worth. He wasn't afraid to negotiate, to counter the offer, and to make sure he got what he deserved. That balance of seriousness with playfulness is what makes his story stand out. It wasn't just about the paycheck, it was about him knowing his value and then being proud enough to celebrate the results. Throughout the conversation, there was an energy of joy that couldn't be missed. Even when he teased his mother about paying for the party, it was clear that it came from a place of love and connection. He valued his family, but he also knew how to keep things fun and not take life too seriously. It showed the close bond between them and how laughter is such a natural part of their relationship. Jalen's story reminds people that sometimes in life, you need to take a step back from the stress and simply enjoy the small wins. A new job, a better opportunity, or even just having people around you to celebrate with, these are all reasons to smile. Too often, people focus only on what they don't have or the struggles in front of them, but Jalen showed a different path. He showed that even when faced with change, you can still choose to make it lighthearted and enjoyable. He said clearly that the money from the new job was way different than what he had been offered before, and that difference was worth acknowledging. He wasn't shy about saying it, either. Some people might keep that private, but Jalen turned it into another reason for laughter, another reason to plan the party. For him, success wasn't something to keep quiet about, it was something to celebrate openly. Even though the job in Colorado originally seemed like a big deal, he made the comparison easy to understand. Colorado might have been exciting, but doubling the money with the new job made it impossible to ignore. It was the kind of change that deserved not just quiet recognition but a full-blown celebration. At the end of the day, Jalen's perspective shows something bigger than just a party. It shows a way of living where joy is always a choice. Whether it's food, family, new jobs, or big moves, he finds a way to make it fun. And that lesson is something that anyone can take with them. Instead of being weighed down by life's changes, why not find a way to laugh, eat, and celebrate along the way?